Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. The Polish Ministry of Health has reported 451 cases of coronavirus infection in Poland. Thus far, COVID-19 has claimed the lives of 5 in Poland. The government has introduced strict measures to contain the epidemic, including extending the closure of schools until Easter, as well as introducing a penalty for breaking the quarantine of 30,000 zloty, the equivalent of $8,000.
In these trying times, various beautiful, valuable and encouraging reactions are being shown. Because of this, I want to thank you all for your great behaviour and discipline. I believe that we will all come out stronger from this difficult situation. To prevent further spread of the disease, we are now introducing a state of epidemic. This gives new prerogatives, but also imposes new obligations. We have decided to call off lessons until Easter. It is a difficult but important decision made to stop the disease from spreading. Announcing a state of epidemic in the country is obviously a difficult decision. When we look at the growth in countries such as France, Germany, Spain or Italy, the disease is claiming the lives of more and more each day. I think these difficult decisions, as well as the extremely responsible behaviour of all Poles, are really life-saving. 99.5% of people in quarantine are abiding by the quarantine. This shows that Poles really are a nation that can behave in a situation of serious crisis. Over 90 Polish schools are carrying out distance learning by various methods. Thank you very much for abiding by the isolation rules as well. This will definitely help to reduce the extent of the disease in our country. Because it was an effective method, we have decided to extend the carrying out of educational classes in Polish schools, kindergartens and universities, and continue the practices which have recently been put in place.
Polish President Andrzej Duda has announced that he will ask the government to adopt extraordinary measures to prevent job losses in small businesses. Companies that keep on employees, despite the slowdown, will have up to 40% of the salaries paid by the state. Moreover, social security charges for the self-employed and micro businesses, whose revenue has fallen below 50% of the level in February, will be exempt from paying social security contributions for 3 months. Last night, President Duda praised the wisdom and responsibility of Poles who comply with the social distancing and quarantine recommendations. The President pointed out that the decisive moment in curbing the outbreak is now, and he appealed for even greater mobilization and discipline while asking Poles to stay at home.
Acting together in a sense of national unity and solidarity, we have so far prevented a rapid increase in the number of infected people. The emptiness in the streets of Polish cities is not a view that we are happy to see, but in the current situation it inspires hope and is a testimony to the wisdom and responsibility of Poles. We have a decisive time ahead of us. According to specialists, we are approaching a key breakthrough moment in the fight against the epidemic, so I appeal to everyone to mobilize even more. I appeal for even more discipline. Let's stay at home and follow the recommendations. Let us not risk the health and lives of ourselves and others. Let us remember the experience of other countries. The rapidly growing number of infections and illnesses is always the result of recklessness and disregard for basic safety rules. In these difficult days for all of us, I thank the sanitary, medical and uniformed services from the bottom of my heart. I thank the soldiers of the Polish Army and those of you who secure access to the most necessary services and goods. You show special fortitude. Your devotion and professionalism arouse peace, trust and authentic admiration in the hearts of Poles. They also inspire us to help those in need.
Inspirują też do udzielania pomocy potrzebującym.
Jarosław Kaczyński, the leader of the Law and Justice Party, strongly believes that the situation in Poland regarding the coronavirus outbreak does not yet require the declaration of a state of emergency. The opposition, in turn, demands that a state of emergency be introduced, as this would mean that the presidential elections, which are due in May, would have to be postponed. For many political commentators, it's clear that the opposition fears it will lose the election, and that is why they seek the declaration of a state of emergency.
I'm convinced that at this point we won't be introducing the state of emergency, and only if we introduce such a state could the elections be postponed. We need to remember that we have to abide by the Constitution. It's not as though we can just say that we postpone the elections because we feel it needs to be done. There need to be certain conditions for that, and we haven't yet reached that point.
Communication professionals say that the government's handling of the coronavirus is near perfect, at least in terms of public relations. According to the media professionals portal, Virtualna Media PL, the strategy of keeping calm and regular communication is working, and the Minister of Health, Łukasz Szumowski, is a key figure in this respect. Polish government communication of the crisis is consistent, balanced, and conducted in a consistent language. Key messages are being delivered by the President, the Prime Minister and the Minister of Health, all of which helps to prevent panic. Father Piotr Pawlowicz has died. Father Pawlowicz was a well-known retreatist and academic pastor. For many years he preached to students in St. Anne's Church in Warsaw.
God spoke to me through the priests. If I hadn't met those priests, if that door had been closed, I have the impression that I wouldn't have reacted to some poster saying, "Come to us," unless it's one that the Franciscans put on St. Anne's Mount. On grey paper they wrote in paint, "Come to us, we will try not to waste our lives, and don't think that you are a genius. Welcome," and their phone number. Then I'd go, "We'll try not to waste our lives," because it's not that simple.
That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business and more programmes. But from me, it's have a good night, a better tomorrow and a safe tomorrow.